Starting with this DHS tweet, we immediately see a concerted effort by the administration to do two things: to downplay how egregious the shooting was,
Their actions were, yeah,
and to try to portray Alex Pretti as a domestic terrorist, which is specific language that they used many times
wildly.
Yeah, and like terrorism. Let's throw this out there really quick. Terrorism. This is just one definition. Generally speaking, the unlawful use or threat of violence, often targeting civilians, to create fear and achieve political, religious, or ideological goals, aiming to intimidate populations or coerce governments and organizations into specific actions or policies. So
totally did that, right?
Right. Now,
I mean, that's how I read the situation.
Well, and so we've had, remember the Stop the Steal protests? Unfortunately, all the stuff around January 6th and following January 6th, but the kind of the precursor to it, how many rifles there were held by these guys, that open carrying rifles. Somehow that is not terrorism, but just having a weapon on your person while filming federal agents that are presumably doing they keep saying they're doing legal stuff, so I don't understand why they have a problem being filmed.
They're doing legal stuff in public, so of course they have to be extremely defensive.
Yeah. But just having a weapon on your person in that environment makes you a terrorist.
Says the vehemently pro-Second Amendment.
I'll say this: it's a wild day when the Republican Party does something and the NRA is like, I don't know, or the Trump administration does something and the NRA is like, man, I don't know, this is pretty bad. Like the gulf that's been forming actually politically between the Republican Party. I
saw the initial statement and it sounded really wishy-washy to me. Like, I feel like the NRA was given the situation way too much credit with the initial.
Well, their line is listen, I don't know if you should be using your gun on white people. Like, I feel like that's a lot of where some of that comes from. That's
certainly in there for sure.
But even that from an organization that has basically just said, I don't know, sometimes school kids get shot in the head. Like,
sorry,
that's
cost a Second Amendment.
Right.
Yeah. Square that circle. Make those two viewpoints
never
coherent.
They never can. It's impossible. It's just like quoting Charlie Kirk in response to his death. Like, you can't. The reason why it lands is because you can't.
Quoting the man, that's a bridge too far.
Well, and the reason why it lands is because you can't square that. You can't square him accepting that some people are going to die for our gun rights and then him dying from a gun. Like, you can't. Yeah. It's not.
Live by the sword, die by the sword, I guess.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I
want to point out real quick how stupid, if it's not obvious, how stupid of a move this little post on X here, their initial little picture of the gun, just how dumb that is strategically from a law enforcement position to release that at that point before any of the other facts had been completely sussed out and their strategy had been discussed.
Yeah.
Because that little piece of evidence, and we can clearly see that exact gun in the agent's hand after being pulled off of him before any shots are fired, before any threat is activated.
Right.
they absolutely just destroyed their own case with their initial statement. Like,
Yeah,
how could that be taken? How could anything they taken subsequently? How could anything they say subsequently be taken seriously?
right. Right. Well, especially
It's fucking
if
clown
you
show
have
bullshit.
like they released this statement like it's 1994 and we don't have fucking people with cameras on their phones everywhere
Exactly.
filming everything.
It was
Like
recorded from 100 angles. Like, the truth will come out regardless. Like, there's a
mhm,
certain crowd that's never going to see anything but what Fox News puts out,
mhm,
and they'll be able to keep their head buried in the sand. But the group of people that can keep their head buried in the sand is also going to get smaller.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a ton of different things that we can look at as far as first responses and also responses into today. And I just want to, I really think that this is one of the bigger things that facets of this that people need to focus on. There's the most important part, which is that ICE and Border Patrol agents are invading our cities and doing whatever the fuck they want to in the name of apprehending supposed criminals, supposed illegal aliens.
Worst of the worst.
And they consistently fall back on, well, we were doing a targeted raid with no acknowledgement of all the untargeted people that have been picked up, all the
Yeah,
people that they pick up because they didn't target them directly,
or
but
brown.
they knew where they might be. And
Yeah,
I mean,
or because they're casing out fucking immigration hearings.
yes, or which I think was
That's where you
probably
might find people that aren't citizens.
the most insane fucking shit. But
That's heinous, and that's, I mean, like,
that,
right out of the gate. Like, if that's what the ugliness that they're going to perpetrate as their very first act, like, holy shit.
yes. Well, and it was clearly calculated to try to dampen people's ability to maintain any kind of forward momentum in their immigration process while this shit is going on, to then create by numbers more civil infractions, more civil. Again, I want to put heavy emphasis on this, not criminal,
Civil fucking
civil
infraction.
immigration infractions that are a
The
result of them
equivalent of
not
fucking, or
jaywalking.
like, driving violations. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the and they create more of those people by number because there are fewer people that can make their get to their court hearings safely for one, and people start to fear for themselves and they don't show up. But where the fuck are they supposed to go? And it just
They're fucking
it creates a
targeting
justification.
schools and shit. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It does. Well, that's what they're trying to do anyway. Yeah.
Um, but there's that facet of it, which it is resulting in the deaths of people that are detained, both criminal, civil infractions, neither citizens and non-citizens alike, and also it's leading to overt executions in the street. So we have deaths behind doors and
There are more
deaths in our
subtle ones too.
streets. Yeah,
Are you familiar with the term called what's it called? Starlight tours?
is that like rough riding?
Uh, so it's not the same. I think it might be equally heinous, if not worse, honestly. Uh,
Hmm.
so I don't know how far this practice dates back to. I've only learned of it recently, but there are accounts of it definitely being perpetrated to the point that there are volunteers keeping an eye at the detention facility and trailing any vehicles that leave, waiting for them to keeping eyes on them so they don't take people out miles away, completely unprepared, like dressed in possibly whatever they just dragged them out of their houses or wherever,
Hmm. Hmm.
and saying, "Oh, sorry, okay, mix up, you're free, on your way home."
Yeah, I'm going
Taking
to
them
throw
out
this
for
out
a
there.
tour of the stars and then releasing them.
I'm going to throw this out there. This practice predates writing. in civilizations. I'm going to throw out there. Taking people away from an environment that they can survive in, stripping them of the tools to survive, and leaving them bereft of help from the rest of the society
Genuine
to die.
ostracization.
Yeah, to
Actual
die that
factual
way.
ostracization. Yes,
I mean, certainly
that's
we've
rough.
at least been doing it for as long as we've had travel faster than human feet. But I guarantee we've done it before by just escorting people out into the middle of where the fuck ever and dumping
Yeah,
them and walking away.
your crimes against the group are bad enough that we don't fucking want you here anymore.
Hmm.
But we're not sure enough of it that one of us wants to put a sword through you. So be gone.
That or
We're
just
gonna
like,
we're gonna take you away and like
that
at
or
best like let you go.
we're dumping you in a purposefully hostile environment, such as in the middle of
Yes.
winter with no clothes, and we know you're going to
Yeah.
die, and we're going to revel in the thought of how you're going to suffer while we go back and drink and fuck.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Back to the Native Americans for sure. Like it was purposeful. We took peoples from locations like Everglades or whatever, and marched them out into Oklahomas or into the Badlands or wherever, into the reservations and these environments that were completely foreign to them. They had no knowledge of the land or the plants and animals,
Hmm.
et cetera, et cetera. And we moved these groups of people all over the place purposefully into environments that they were foreign to, so it would make surviving there real tricky.
Hmm. But I guess so. I guess
But
I misspoke. I misspoke a little bit though on my first characterization. So there's actually three parts. There's the permission structure, which comes from the rhetoric and
mhm,
even like laws that might be passed by an administration or whatever. There's the act itself, which is what we're talking about here, where the acts,
mhm,
the ice being out on the street. Obviously the results of that are heinous and disgusting. But then there's the third part, which I feel like is really important to focus on, and that is the propaganda after the fact, the continuance of the permission with forcing acceptance upon people.
yeah,
And man, the just so like I've got another thing up here on the screen here.
yeah,
Tweet from Representative Randy Fine.
this motherfucker.
uh, an armed seditionist attacked federal law enforcement today as they were rounding up foreign invaders in Minneapolis. The insurrectionist was put down. Well done. I stand with ICE as they fight these foreign invaders and their treasonous allies. We will not stop until every illegal is deported.
That is fucking insane. Psychopathic bullshit for one. But I hope his parents sue the ever loving fuck out of him for libel because I think you could make a real solid case there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I
mean, like, is
agree.
that justice?
Not
No,
just
but, like,
not just
punish
Randy
that
Fine,
turd in some way.
and not just
No,
Randy Fine, but Christy
no.
Nome, Cash Patel,
Mhm. Absolutely.
Greg
Class
Vivino,
action, baby.
yeah, Pam Bondi.
There has gotta be a law firm out there that still has the cojones and the greed to take a class action suit like that.
Mm, mhm.
You might not win it, but holy shit, it's gonna be infamous, and, like, that's almost as good in the legal world.
Let's look at more though. More of again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is probably the most the most
That's heinous. That is fucking
probably the most overtly violent in a way, kind of maybe next to the presidents. I don't know. They're close. We're comparing shit to shit. Look at Donald
true.
Trump's Truth Social post here.
Oh, goody.
Um, as basically the media environment, the internet especially, was just buzzing about this murder. Donald Trump says, this is the gunman's gun, loaded with 2 additional full magazines and ready to go. What is that all about? Where are the local police? Why aren't they allowed to protect ICE officers? The mayor and the governor called them off. It is stated that many of these police were not allowed to do their job, that ICE had to protect themselves. Not an easy thing to do. Why does Elon Omar have $34 million in her account? And where are the tens of billions of dollars that have been stolen from the once great state of Minnesota? We are there because of massive monetary fraud, with billions of dollars missing, and illegal criminals that were allowed to infiltrate the state through the Democrats' open border policy. We want the money back, and we want it back now. Those fraudsters who stole the money are going to jail where they belong. This is no different than a really big bank robbery. So his grasp of the English language, his penchant for storytelling is magnificent.
The non sequiturs, man. Oh my god.
Much of what you're witnessing,
Jesus, like coming from me, that's a
challenge level fucking impossible, man.
Impossible.
Much of what you're witnessing is a cover-up for this theft and fraud. The mayor and the governor are inciting insurrection with their pompous, dangerous, and arrogant rhetoric. Instead, these sanctimonious political fools should be looking for the billions of dollars that has been stolen from the people of Minnesota and the United States of America. Let our ICE patriots do their job. 12,000 illegal alien criminals, many of them violent, have been arrested and taken out of Minnesota. If they were still there, you would see something far worse than what you're witnessing today.
You can clearly tell with that statement that Stephen Miller's hand is up Trump's ass. Like,
yeah,
he's letting Trump formulate the words, but he's manipulating what he's saying.
Sanctimonious political fools was definitely directly quoted from Stephen Miller.
Yes.
Directly.
Absolutely. He popped things in there. Hey, what if you said this, boss? What if you said that, boss?
Mm-hmm.
So it's he lets Trump think it's coming from him, but he's just feeding them the ideas and letting them like scatterbrain bullshit his way out there.
And I just want to keep going through the hits here.
Keep at it.
Fucking Stephen Miller's tweet. Stephen Miller's tweet. A would-be assassin tried to murder federal law enforcement, and the official Democrat account sides with the terrorists. In response to the Democrats on Twitter tweeting out, ICE agents shot and killed another person in Minneapolis this morning. Get ICE out of Minnesota now. Overtly calling him an assassin, a would-be assassin. Again, based on
like, how do you make that?
Yeah, like what's the? Did you find
nothing leads to that?
Some chat that he had with somebody else that said, "I'm going to this protest to kill ICE agents, to kill Customs and Border Patrol, and I'm taking my gun. I'm going to film them first and then murder them." Like, I haven't heard anything about any of that.
It's the tail wagging the dog completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're really telegraphing that hard. In fact, I feel like
right, exactly, yeah. And man, I've got Kristi Noem's press conference where which we don't have to watch. We don't have to necessarily watch these, but I've got Kristi Noem and Greg Bovino, their press conferences following it, where they do the same thing. They follow the same line. They call him a domestic terrorist. They suggest over and over that they understand his intent. Like, I don't understand. I don't know how they could already know his intent without some sort of manifesto or an investigation or an admission of guilt from a dead person. I don't know how you get that, but they're
showing everyone that doesn't matter. That investigations don't matter because facts don't matter because they're what we say they are.
Right.
And if you're on board, you're fine with that. And if you're not, fuck you.
And if you're not, yeah, exactly. Yes, double fuck you. And it's carried on into today. This fucking blatant lying about the situation. Kash Patel on Fox News this morning with Maria Bartiromo, actually getting pushback from Maria Bartiromo. Steve Scalise on Face of the Nation. And at every step of the way, they make claims about Alex's intent, what Alex was intending to do there,
Yeah,
with zero evidence of any of that. Like you're saying, yeah, they're
exactly.
suggesting it matters. He was there.
You're using the fact that he had 2 magazines, which one I haven't seen any of their little picture doesn't show that. Like it shows
Hmm. Hmm.
1 magazine. Like so you have to believe him that there was even 2, which
Hmm.
if there is, it makes sense. Like if you're going to be carrying, if you know what you're doing, which it by all indications appears that he did,
Hmm.
it's just a smart preparation if you can. It's within your capability.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, this is clearly a group of people that have been antagonistic to any kind of like gun regulation that wants
Yeah,
to that's going to target, you know, semi-automatic rifles and things like that. Like they're trying to use pictures and buzzwords from people that are looking for gun regulation and trying to turn it to basically suit their purpose in this way. It's just like anytime you hear about the cops, uh, busting some big time drug dealer who's just some dork in his fucking home that was playing Call of Duty himself with the ICE
yeah,
agents while they were in training, and they come out with like an ounce and a half of weed, and he happened to have 2 knives and a gun that he legally owned, and they
yeah.
put it on the table and they take a picture of it. It's like, look at what
Same
we're
energy.
taking off
Yeah,
the streets. It's the
yeah.
exact same fucking energy, man. It's the
Rookie
exact
fucking
same
beat
energy.
cop energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking dildos. We've got rookie beat cop energy running the Justice Department.
Yep.
Because obviously our boy Cash is just the most vain and petulant and petty little piece of shit.
Hmm.
Jesus Christ, that guy is a
Hmm.
mess.
He's it's incredible how he's in his position, because it seems that even
Ow.
even people that would ostensibly support him, people, elected Republicans, even they seem to recognize that he just should not ever be in front of a camera speaking
Yeah,
for any part of the administration. Like he is such a liability to what they want
yeah.
to do, that it's kind of incredible that he still has a position, has a job there. But I think it's part of
That
their
token will get
arrogance,
spent
part of their
sooner or later.
narcissism.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
So, there's going to be more of this. There's no doubt. And the best that we can hope for in the very short term, I think, is to see some actual meaningful response from what's supposed to be the opposition party to generate
Yeah.
some sort of momentum, sort of widespread momentum against these constant immigration raids, these
Where
violent acts that are being perpetrated in the name of this deportation strategy, which, as we talked about last night, isn't even as effective as what Democrats before have
yeah,
done.
it's not about efficacy for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, I did family shit in the morning, and got kind of into doing stuff out of the house most of the afternoon until I came back and had something to eat and sat down to talk to you.
Mhm.
So I haven't really been paying attention to what's been going on today quite as much,
Mhm.
outside of
Mhm.
a few spending time on Reddit and getting into a few things, but able to keep up with what was going on. So I haven't seen any pushback. Like you said,
Right.
I want to see where is the immediate pushback. One, like calling for them to slow down, calling for some sanity in the situation. Like, Jesus Christ, guys, slow down and pay attention to what you're doing here for all of our sake.
Well, so
And
there
two, like
were
actual fucking resistance amongst, like, where is that aside from small group of people. I haven't seen anything yet, and I know it's
So
early, but
as I've been looking at things, it seems, of course, we had powerful rhetorical moments from Chris Murphy and AOC, just to name two. Decrying this, calling it what it is. But also, Schumer is basically threatening to bring this to the spending bill, and the fight appears like it could actually be moving to uh, funding ICE and the vote in the Senate for that. Now we saw that funding pass the House with
yeah,
7 Democrats also voting alongside the Republicans to pass this increased funding for ICE. But
fucking
it
Jim
hasn't
did
gone through the
nothing to
Senate
stop
yet,
it.
and that's supposedly where the fight's going to be. I'm curious what happens here, because technically
I'd love to
speaking,
see Chuck Schumer fucking do something right and actually come through with a win for once, but I'm not gonna fucking hold my breath.
yeah, I feel like it's going to be a lot like the last spending bill fight
Yeah.
with
Man, you got him by the short hairs. The people are with you on this issue.
mhm,
Hurry, let's see how quick we can fold.
yeah. But there has been some pushback from Republicans, and I feel like the for people that are obviously sympathetic to Trump's deportation program, the idea is, man, we can sacrifice one of these guys, right? Like
Yep.
we can, and so much of the Democratic response uh, to Renee Good's killing was like, we got to give these guys body cameras and more training. So sacrificing one guy and giving them body cameras that they'll probably use as reliably as the police, probably less so actually, but they'll get away with it just
Yeah.
like the police do. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, and that's where the cave is,
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to train these guys more, and it's probably going to focus on ICE, because rhetorically, uh, so much of the coverage has, and people's responses to this have been just saying ICE, but there are other agencies, and those nuances
Sure.
are important when you're talking about a slippery fucking con man like Donald Trump and his
Yes,
administration.
and there's a level of complicity with state and local forces that is
Hmm.
allowing this to happen.
Hmm.
There could be a greater level of pushback in defense of their own jurisdiction
Hmm.
in their own, not just their own people, but their own jurisdictional power. That should be a check for, again, where are all the states' rights people in defense of this? That should be a check of the local, like against big government. Like,
Hmm. Well, and if
if
not directly in their like in the moment law enforcement, certainly at least in their investigative enforce, like the investigative parts of their law enforcement apparatus, like the BCA not getting the
100%,
access to this scene, the immediate push to get a judge to basically put a stay on the destruction of evidence
yeah,
related to this murder of Alex Pretti, and also just how the DOJ had swooped in, and the DOJ and the FBI swooped in and basically picked up the Renee Good killing and pushed
yeah,
away local investigators like that. That is, yeah, like you're saying, the
it's
protecting their
insane.
jurisdiction is an important, is if nothing else, no matter what their ideology is, that's still an important part of the identity of these people, of these enforcement agencies, and an important part of their job is sort of protecting that to some degree. And yeah, some pushback
And
there
they're
would be
also
nice.
they're from there. They're Minnesotans too, and like
Right, right.
this is their community and their family members. Like cops have moms and dads and brothers and sisters that do other shit and that are maybe politically don't agree with them too. That could be out there.
Hmm.
Unlike these jagoffs that are being pulled from all over the country, so they don't have to worry about that kind of crap. Local
Hmm.
law enforcement does like that's
Hmm.
your community. So I feel like there's going to be a certain amount of that like rally around the family there.
Mhm.
I would hope
I can
anyway.
see that. I can see that, especially with also just how even more obvious this situation is compared to Renee Good's killing. Because at least with Renee Good, the ICE agent was in front of her car at one point.
Yeah.
Like, at
Never
least
should have been. It
there's
was a fucking
yeah,
dumbass move. If it, yeah, completely unsupported by training. Yada yada yada.
yeah, yeah. But at least at the very least he was somewhere where there could have potentially in a different circumstance have been danger.
It theoretically exists enough that honestly it would be even in normal times hard to get a conviction on him for that.
Potentially. Potentially. Given where it looks like
Sadly,
the
true.
kill shots actually came from, maybe not, given that it looks like the
That makes it tougher.
actual
But
kill shots came from the side, which is extremely beyond the pale. But in this situation, I mean, we have overt video evidence that he was disarmed. He was subdued. Alex
yes,
was in no position to hurt anyone and was shot, seemingly shot in the back and murdered, and several shots several times. Like, and also an ICU nurse at a VA hospital.
yeah,
White guy, demographically, like you couldn't
yeah,
get
this should be their boy.
more. Yeah, exactly. Like demographically,
Yeah,
it hits every angle to at least give some of these people permission to step
yeah,
outside of the lines that have been drawn for them and at least feign like there's some outrage here.
yeah. You could fucking pretend to have a soul on this for just a minute. Do us that little courtesy and just like pretend that yeah, this is a reasonable human being and not some supercell terrorist that you're trying to make him out to be. Like,
Right.
just display a tiny little bit of common humanity.
Yeah,
Don't be like
like try
ancient pigs or
the fucking the they're it's like they're trying to make this guy out to be like Timothy McVeigh.
yeah.
And, and it's
And he
like
had
no,
two
he
fucking magazines. Jesus.
yeah, exactly.
And yeah, where
Exactly.
is the whole Second Amendment crowd on this, man? Like, just the absence of them and every dipshit that's ever had a Gadsden flag. It has "Don't tread on me" anywhere on
Mhm.
all their paraphernalia. Like, where are all those people right now?
One thing that's
Like, that
also
could be the dude you go to the shooting range with, or you
yeah.
go hunting or hiking with, or work at the VA with. Like, it's not exactly a hyper liberal environment. Like,
Mhm.
and we don't know this gentleman's politics yet. Like,
Right.
he
Yeah.
might be more conservative than we know. He might have been there just out of a sense of community and being a legal observer.
Mhm.
Hence, it would make sense for him to be concealed carrying in that situation because he wouldn't know who he might be needing to protect. Or
Right.
it's so
Well,
fucking
and, like,
tragic.
that's the thing, it's
However,
like,
he fought for it. But
we don't know how he got out there, like, we don't did he happen upon this? Was it a premeditated like, he's ready to immediately respond to these situations, like, as a part of
yeah,
a signal chat or something in the neighborhood or whatever, like, there's so many things that are completely unanswered, and certainly, if any of that information has been released in the last couple of hours, I've just not caught it. Certainly not answered by the time DHS said this guy's a fucking terrorist and Stephen Miller calls him an
yeah,
assassin. Like
yeah,
being an assassin is a very specific thing. Like there is again and it's
yeah.
not splitting hairs. There's an
It's
overt
bizarre.
intent.
Yeah, it's bizarre that they went so hard so fast when it even from first glance it's pretty obvious that it's all bullshit. Like,
Hmm.
they are absolutely telling you to not believe the evidence of your eyes and ears. Like,
Hmm.
that's what's really scares me about this moment is it's just downright Orwellian, and if they manage to make it work, Like
Hmm.
they have well enough, at least so far, with Renee Good. They managed to make this work. Like, oh, it just gets darker.